Hello and welcome to ThePrint. My name is Krishan Murari, and today we have with us Mr. Shalabh Saxena, CEO and Managing Director of Spandana Sphoorty Financial Limited, which has a headquarter in Hyderabad. So, we will talk to Mr. Saxena about the microfinance ecosystem in India, particularly about his company Spandana Sphoorty. Mr. Saxena has around 3 decades of experience in life insurance and microfinance institutions of India. So before we go deep into the subject, sir, I just briefly put the context here. The Indian microfinance ecosystem has completed 50 years in India, which has started in 1974 in Gujarat through Seva. So, but microfinance has played a critical and crucial role in the financial inclusion. But we have seen that after COVID, microfinancial institutions has been affected, its profit has been affected. So here we discuss about the role of Spandana Sphoorty. So sir, my first question to you is, Spandana Sphoorty has reported loss as compared to fiscal year 24 for the consecutive 2 quarters. I was going through the financial records of the company where which shows the company suffers 216 crore consolidated loss in quarter 2. So what are the primary factors contributing to this decline?
Yeah, so let me just, as a matter of fact, tell you, the
Yes.
quarter 1 for this year, we as a company reported a profit of 56 crores. The
Yes.
loss that you are referring to is pertaining to the quarter 2, which has just gone by. So that's
Yes.
the factual position. Now let
Yes.
me answer the broader question. The broader question is what is happening in the microfinance industry, because we keep on reading this in newspapers and the general media in terms of the state of affairs of the industry. See,
Yes.
microfinance as an industry is a extremely crucial, industry, because this is the entire set of companies which deliver the product. They are responsible for the last mile delivery at the customer's place. Predominantly, most of the companies operate in the rural space. Hence, all put together, the companies ensure that the customers who are number one, they are the bottom of the pyramid. That's very
Yes.
important for all the viewers to know. That's number one. Number two is they are predominantly rural. So there are cultural issues. There are issues in terms of literacy levels, etc., which prohibit them to reach out to the nearest, more to the nearest, say, bank branch or a more formal channel of credit. What
Yes.
microfinance institutions do is we reach out to them in their near their house or the places where they live. That's the model, and we deliver the credit requirement for each of the customers. It's also very important for you and your viewers to know that the loans that are given are income generating loans, are for the purpose of generating incomes. About
Yes.
98-99% is income generating loans. There are about 1 or 2% loans which are given for consumption, but broadly speaking, all the institutions and the industry is, what we are trying to do is to ensure the last mile delivery and ensure that their family, whatever business they do, we support them through their working for their working capital requirement, which helps them ultimately in moving up the financial ladder and making them more financially secure. So that's very, very important for all of us to kind of know, and hence this longish context. Now to your specific question in terms of what has happened
Yes.
after the COVID period, yes, there was a pent up demand which kind of was there across the country, because for almost 2.5 years there wasn't much action on the ground because of COVID. Post that, the release of the so-called pent up demand, there were cases and instances, while it is far and few, it isn't really at a systemic level, but there are cases where there has been some overborrowing from a customer point of view, and there has been an over lending from a financial point of view. So it's both ways. Having said which, so
Yes.
what you see now, and the challenge in the portfolio quality that you see now is an aftermath of whatever I have said. But having said which, all of us, microfinance as an industry is a very resilient industry. Customers and the industry bounces back very fast, which is evident from the past crisis, be it COVID or demonetization or the Andhra crisis of 2000, 2010, 2011. So all of this, we are sure that as an industry and we as a company, we have taken all the steps to ensure that the quality of the portfolio is brought back to what it was pre-COVID levels, and that's how we'll continue our journey.
Sir, my next question is also about what are the measures taken by you and your company to mitigate these challenges?
So it's a very important question. So there are some 2, 3 things that we've done. The first is we have put more people on the ground to ensure that we engage with the customer to explain to her that in case a installment is not paid on time, what would happen, what are the implications, which broadly means there's an impact on the credit bureau scores, that each of the customer has, and which will prohibit her, or which will restrict her from borrowing in future from any company. So this requires a great degree of engagement with the customer, for which you need people, and hence we've kind of put more people on the ground so that we have that active engagement with the customer. That's number one. Number two is, what we are also doing is we are being slightly more cautious at this point in time, both in terms of lending and when it comes to collection. Microfinance is all about operating the joint liability group. It's a very old model. It's originated from Bangladesh by Professor Muhammad Yunus, but India has kind of adopted it and we've scaled it up. It's a very strong and a robust model. For it to function, the contours of what a joint liability is needs to be explained to the customer, which was done when they were acquired. But now, in the context of the position that we are in, what we are doing is that we are once again going back to them and trying to reinforce the joint liability group model and the principles that are associated with the joint liability. So that's the second thing that we are doing. The third, which is very important, is that for our employees, while I said that we are going to put more people, for our employees also, given the situation that there are some bit of challenges on the ground, we are ensuring that we give them a good operating environment, both at our branch offices and in the field, so that they are motivated enough to ensure this regularization in quicker times. So these are the broad 3 things that we are doing to ensure that things are brought back to normalcy.
So you are talking about the increasing engagement at the ground, but when I was going through the many transcripts of the earning conference calls, where you have mentioned about the high attrition level in few states such as Telangana, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. What this indicates, what are these attritions, and what are the reasons behind this?
Yeah, so I kind of covered this, just a few minutes back. I'll explain again. Yes. Because of the challenges that all of us are seeing in some pockets, not the entire country, but some pockets, we are seeing visible trends of this challenges or stress, as you may want to term. What happens is that there is an increased burden on our employees, because yes, we have to hasten the normalization process. So hence, what did we do? We put more people so that the workload at a field officer or a loan officer level is reduced. Very, very important, number one. Number two is we've given him, as I said, the right operating environment, which includes rewards, which includes monetary support, and which includes recognition. These are the 3 things that we are doing in general everywhere, and more so in the specific geographies that you've mentioned, to ensure that the employee is motivated enough to kind of work towards the normalization, works with the customer in terms of the engagement and explaining to her the nuances of ensuring that the credit, the repayments are on time. All of these things, these are the steps that we are taking to ensure we, one, control attrition, and two, ensure that we have a motivated sales force and the motivated people on the ground who will kind of bring back normalcy as quick as possible.
Also, before talking to you, I have spoken to many ground level workers of Spandana also in different states like Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. They are talking about the increasing pressure from the headquarters or their seniors on recovery of bad loans because they are piling up. So, is this the reason behind this attrition? Do you
No,
think so?
you have to leave out the specifics or the specific instances or isolated instance. In general, when we came out after our earnings call also, where we said that the attrition has increased, there were various reasons, and I did mention when we were speaking that there is some bit of a stress. There is some addition to the working hours that people have to kind of spend on the ground. So we have recognized we are cognizant of this. 2 quarters back, we realized that there were issues which we've kind of addressed as we speak.
So, sir, what are your main three focus points if you think when the microfinance industry is in crisis, and if you are making changes in the regulatory frameworks, because last to last month RBI curbs many microfinance institutions because they are giving loans on high interest rate, and at many times the Spandana loans are also at the 20 to 25%. So, do you think to regulate these things also?
No. So there are multiple things that we are doing to ensure normalcy. The first is that we have to ensure that the demand of the customer is met. The customer's demand is working capital, so that she can infuse that capital into the business that she is doing, which will ensure that her financial income, she continues to strengthen the family's financial income, and so on. So it's very important that we continue to meet the customer's requirement for any working capital loan or income generating loan that that she would need. That's number one.
Yes.
Number two is that when it comes to the policies of the company, we ensure that every 3 months, every 6 months, we keep on reviewing our policies. We have a risk-based pricing, something that you alluded to just a few minutes back,
Yes.
where if we have an experience from the customer, if a customer is with us for the last 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, then obviously she deserves a differential pricing from somebody who I have acquired only yesterday or maybe less than a year. So so these are the things that we do, which is as per the board approved policy, which we as a company have. And I in our wisdom and basis our interaction with the customer, it is not just the interest rates. It is also how you conduct yourself when you meet the customer. It is also about how transparent you are in terms of your policies and process with the customer. There are various elements to this, to the way we conduct our business. We are above board when it comes to all of these three things that I have mentioned, and we'll continue to improve. Obviously, when you have about 1,750 branches across the country with about 15,000 people, 16,000 people, there is always a scope for improvement, and which we keep on doing, as we progress.
So, sir, my last question: can we hope the next quarter for Spandana will be good as compared to the quarter two?
Yeah, so look, any business, and this is not just about microfinance, any business is a marathon. It is not a T20 or these are not the slog overs of a match. You have, as a company, keep doing. You are operating in an environment which is impacted by various external forces, various external situations. So what you have to do is to keep doing the right things, and the P&L is just an outcome of the policies and the process that you have, be it the ones which focus on the disbursements or on meeting the requirement of the customer, be it on your collection mechanism, or be it on your product policies and pricing, that we discuss. So the wholesome part is that you have to continue doing what is right for the customer, and eventually ensure that the outcome, which is the profit and loss, which is what you're mentioning, is to your satisfaction and to your to your desire. So that's what we are doing. We'll continue to do it. Obviously, specifics of a balance sheet, what will happen in Q3 and Q4, etc., is slightly difficult to answer because of various reasons. But broadly and directionally, I would say that we will continue to do what is right for the customer. This industry and the job that we are doing as a company is extremely crucial to strengthening the 60% of the population of the country which resides in the rural villages. So extremely important that they are guided well, and you be very fair with the way you conduct yourself as an enterprise, which we are attempting to do every single day.
Thank you so much, sir, for the important insights about the microfinance industry, how it works, and more particularly about the Spandana's role in the microfinance institution. Thank you so much for giving us time.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.